The Choet Visser Rugby Museum originated in 1966 when Choet received personal memorabilia as manager of the first Shimla's rugby tour to Rhodesia, and later during their first European and UK tours in 1968 and 1974. The museum was officially opened in 1974 by hosting Willie John McBride's British Lions at the museum. Choet became liaison manager for several international touring teams in the 70s and 80s, including John Pullen's England side in 1972, the 1974 British Lions led by Willie John McBride, Andy Leslie's 1976 All Blacks, the 1977 World 15 during the inauguration of Loftus Versfeld, and the 1982 Five Nations team with the inauguration of Ellis Park. On the domestic front, Choet was honorary president of the Free State Rugby Union and Shimla's Rugby for many years, and manager of the 1971 and 1975 Springboks during their respective test series against France. Choet became a beloved friend of the players who donated memorabilia to him out of appreciation for what he did for them. To this day, every single item in the museum was donated, and always with a personal message to Choet. His special relationship with the players is evident of the friendships that were forged over many decades. Choet especially had a close relationship with the British and Irish Lions teams, most notably with Willie John McBride, captain of the invincible 1974 British Lions to South Africa, and his wife Penny, whose family became personal friends with the Visser family over many decades.
Ja, hierdie pragtige leeutrui van McBride het hy 3 toetse gespeel in 1974. En hy was so beskadig dat hy nie 'n 4de toets rond kon speel nie. Maar toe sê hy vir my, sy nuwe trui kry, sal hy die nuwe trui vir my skenk. Hy het die ook vir my geskenk. Maar ek het dit toe maar in die rugbyraad toe gestuur. Ja, hierdie McBride was 'n kaptein. 'n beter kaptein as McBride het ek nog nooit by internasionale span tegengekom nie. En die afrigter Sidmiller is ook seker die beste bestuurder van die 89 leeu's wat ek ook in my lewe tegengekom het. Net fantasties geweest. En dit was 'n wonderlike voorreg om saam met hulle te kon gewees het. Daardie is toevallig die geskenk wat die 1980 leeu's vir my gegee het. Al hulle handtekeninge is op daai skinkbord aangeteken daarso. En hierdie leeu is wat McBride dikwels gebruik het om op die veld te hardloop. En dit het ook vir die museum geskenk.
In 1980, Choet became the first non-British person to receive official British Lions colours during the Lions tour to South Africa, with Bill Beaumont as captain and Sid Millar as manager. Choet also made rugby history in the 70s by becoming the most successful team manager to date, in that the international teams he represented won or drew 37 successive games. Over several decades, Choet hosted tens of thousands of visitors and functions for touring teams from all over the world, including the official Rugby World Cup Festival in 1995. During this time and up until professionalism, the British press regarded the Choet Visser Rugby Museum as the world's biggest private rugby museum. In 1994, Choet's grandson Nico du Plessis published a book on the Choet Visser Rugby Museum that was distributed worldwide in every rugby-playing country. It was launched in New Zealand through major television channels and media outlets during the last full-length Springbok tour to New Zealand in 1994. Choet passed away in 2005, and through his family, the legacy of his museum will be preserved at the ultimate rugby experience at Nooitgedacht in Stellenbosch, along with the impressive collection of Theo Geustyn's Rugby Museum. Choet's family shared his passion for his museum, especially his wife Joyce and daughters Veronica and Marcia, who supported him through decades of hosting thousands of overseas visitors at the museum. To find a new home for the museum took years of preparation, and months of unpacking by daughter Veronica at the Nooitgedacht village. In the words of Choet, his greatest wealth was his family, including his children, grandchildren, and great-grandchildren. And through them, his legacy will now continue for future generations to experience at the ultimate rugby experience at Nooitgedacht.
Oupa Choet was 'n ongelooflike mens. Hy was 'n diep godsdienstige mens, 'n nederige ou. Hy was 'n gerespekteerde besigheidsman en dan was hy bo alles was hy 'n ongelooflike oupa gewees en 'n pa. Hy was 'n ware gesinsman gewees en dit was sy eerste liefde in die lewe. Sy ander liefde in die lewe was natuurlik rugby gewees. En dit is waar die hele museum storie begin het.